Boarding is a fundamental part of what Montessori wanted for adolescents. And a big part of that is so that the timetable can be structured around the needs of the adolescent instead of the needs of the family. So parents have to get up early so they can get to work. Adolescents aren't necessarily the best in the morning or the fastest, and the motivation for getting up to go to school is not as great when there's not other students around. So there's that. There's also, this is a time of separation where the adolescent really wants to show that they can be an independent and separate person than their family. Giving them a chance to do that lessens what is often termed as a time of conflict between the adolescents and their families, where the student is demanding more independence than the adult is ready to give, than the parents are ready to give. They want to grow up faster than we want them to grow up. And so that creates a lot of tension. The students are saying things like, "You don't trust me," and "You don't understand," which is a typical teenage thing to say. Taking the students away from that conflict allows them to do some of those things they want to do in a controlled environment, in an environment that's set up to allow them to do it safely, in a way that is not going to clash with the parents. And so you remove a lot of the arguments that come at this particular age in life, when a student wants to be this and a parent still requires them to be this because they have to meet the needs of the whole family. So taking them away and putting them in a residential setting where they can work those things out themselves relieves a lot of the stress of adolescence. And parents tell us when they come home, their students are so helpful and they cook meals and they spend time with them and they talk to them, which is not what you tend to typically hear of what happens with students and their parents at this age. So you're avoiding conflict. We're helping parents avoid conflict. We're helping the students become more independent and step into this role of adult life in a supported way. And we're giving them what they want, which is a society made of their age friends. This is really important at this age. So guided society, not left to their own devices, but guided, where they can work out how they can contribute, how they can be of value, and how they can make the most of themselves. So English is the language of instruction because it is in our thinking that most of the students that come to us will go to university internationally. And in order to do that, they're going to need to speak English. Even if they go to university here eventually, they will be able to go into the English-speaking channel here. What level of proficiency do they need? They need to be able to understand when somebody is speaking to them in English. Follow instructions. They don't necessarily need to know technical language. They will learn that as they go through the different projects. But they will need to be able to understand some basic English and to be able to communicate at least a little bit. So the students hand their phones in when they get to school on Sunday night, and they don't get them back until Friday when they're going home. They get them for 10 minutes a couple of nights a week to bring home, but other than that, they don't use them. This is a time of susceptibility to addiction, and the 12 to 15-year-olds particularly, as the brain is changing. And a phone is terribly addictive. And it is easy to turn to that phone instead of turning to your peers and trying to work things out. So taking the phone out of the equation means that they turn to each other a lot more, and they are learning to read each other's body language, to know when they say something that's inappropriate by people's response, to know the power of their words and to know the power of others. So they are forming real relationships with real people rather than relationships with people they don't really know through their phone. They do have access to the internet. We have computers. We have computers in the residence, and we have computers in the school. Students use this for their research, and they use it for their work, and they use it for relaxation as well. They don't get to sit in front of it for hours at a time. We don't have one each. There is, even in this, we are expecting them to be social in their use, so working together. And work takes priority. So if, for instance, after school in the residence, somebody's got homework to do that they need the computer for, then they get first go at the computers, and then anything that is wanting to be done for relaxation, they get it later. So we have computers, and we want students to be familiar with them and to be able to use them as tools. But we definitely want them to be in charge of that use rather than it being in charge of them. So Y2MAC is only in a middle school at the moment, but in 2025 we will start our high school program so that students will be able to come straight from our middle school, go into the high school, and then go into university. We haven't had anybody leave us and go straight to university yet, or high school, so I can't say with certainty how they have done it. I can only say what our plans are for them. We will have, as part of our high school, a guidance counsellor. A guidance counsellor is somebody who helps students select their next path. So what university will be the best one for them in terms of what they want to do. So spending time helping them figure out what it is they want, what it is they're good at, what it is they like doing, and what are possible career paths within that, and then helping them source a university anywhere in the world and help them go through the process of applying to be a part of that university. We don't do grades, and we don't do tests, and we don't do exams, but we will be doing portfolios. So we will be helping students to develop their portfolio that shows their work. It won't be a portfolio of prizes they've won, but it will be a portfolio showing what it is that they are capable of. So examples of work, examples of research that they might have done, or maths inquiries that they've done on their own. Those kind of things will form a portfolio which will give the impression for the enrolment officers of all of the universities of who this person is and what they are capable of. And then we will help them with the interviews and, if necessary, scholarships and applications, all of those kind of things.